Hello there. First off, I'm very sorry if the room is very yellow because I'm recording this at 11:59 p.m. Why am I recording this at 11:59 p.m.? Because I was too lazy to record this at 2 p.m. And now we're here. Yeah, so Disney Plus came out a couple days ago, just like this video was supposed to. Obviously, that didn't happen. I don't know if I've made it obvious enough, but I'm a very big fan of Disney. But I'm not a huge fan of the whole Disney being a conglomerate that owns I don't know, 40% of the top box office or something like that now, and then they own a whole chunk of media. I'm gonna have an image going up with the Mickey Mouse head and everything they own. It's insane. But I do recognize the fact that we probably wouldn't have Disney Plus if it weren't for Disney's predatorial business strategies. So I've just gotta applaud capitalism for a second, really making the consumer the focus. I really like that. I really respect that. But yeah, we move on. So I thought I'd take the time to go over one of the originals that is on Disney Plus now. It's called High School Musical, the series, if you haven't heard of it yet. Just because I know it's already been done to death, I'm not going to give my full thoughts on High School Musical. High School Musical, the series. My thought process was just completely lost there. If you really want to get a feel for how my thoughts were at least somewhat you should watch this YouTuber called Jarvis Johnson. Do recommend. He's pretty good, and most of what he said I agree with, so I think he's worth checking out. There's one particular scene that occurs that I do want to talk about, just because I thought it was kind of interesting, I guess. Not really interesting. Oh gosh, interesting is used so often. Everything's interesting. Everything bad or good can be industry. It's just a disagreement, and you'll see why. One of the more subtle clips being made in the first episode was between the STEM teacher, whose name I can't remember, and the drama teacher, whose name I can't remember. I literally just watched episode 2, and I still can't. You can see just how much of an impression these characters give. The whole thing is that the drama teacher wants to stage a reenactment of High School Musical, the musical, at East High for, obvious reasons. Unsurprisingly, the one-dimensional STEM teacher is completely against staging the musical because he sees it as a distraction. He does say that he is all for the arts, in quotes, and ends up citing his payment for ad-free Spotify as an example of, him really just caring about the arts. That kind of viewpoint, though, I honestly think is really short-sighted. There's a big difference between participating in the arts and just viewing the arts. It's like two different set of skills, pretty much. Fair warning, this example is very much dumbed down, just for the convenience of me. Think of a movie like Toy Story 4. It pushes the more engaged viewer to reevaluate maybe their own goals or priorities, in the same way Woody ended up doing. Maybe being more open to the idea of change, that even the most daring of risks could be exactly what you need to take to move your life along. The directors and writers behind Toy Story 4 had to think about, well, how do I make the characters' struggles understandable? How do I convey this larger message through maybe the cuts that I have or the dialogue between characters? How do I do so maybe even without apparently stating this? It's the idea of actually conveying that idea and conveying it successfully. Successfully being the key word. They have to have some idea of who their audience is. Really, the choice of applying or learning from the film can be taken as the viewer's innate skill, whereas understanding how to get the viewer engaged in the topic is the writer's skill, or can be taken as maybe one of the writer's skills, because I don't think that's necessarily exclusive. Of course, this doesn't for the media that you're creating has some intrinsic value, but honestly, most of the time, I think a majority of things have some sort of purpose. Even those memes that you scroll up on Facebook through, you get a quick laugh, you enjoy those fleeting moments, fleeting seconds stolen away from you. But it's joyful, it's laughter, it's happiness, and sometimes they do make you think critically about your surrounding. So the STEM teacher doesn't really end there. He goes on to say that he's preparing kids for the real world. STEM teacher is preparing his kids for higher education. Unfortunately, companies don't care if you get a 4 on your AP Physics C exam, and my college didn't either. Really what the STEM teacher is doing is preparing his students for introductory college courses to prepare them for higher level courses that supposedly prepare them for the real world. But that's not necessarily true, because not everything that you're doing in school translates to what you end up doing in industry. So to round this off, participating in the creative arts is a good thing. You should do it. I really do recommend it. It shouldn't be put down or really laughed at, as the STEM teacher seems to be doing. Does this mean that you should pursue that creative writing degree? Maybe not. Financial stability, please. Financial stability. But yeah, that's the whole video. Clap.